So far, the queue management system was available for only the OPD. The queue management was handled by the doctors, and the queue number automatically gets generated in the registration counters itself. Or when the patient does the self-registration, then also the queue number used to get generated. And as per turn, patients used to come based on the queue managed by the doctors. That was the process which was existing at that point of time. Now, what we have done, there is a lot of crowd in the pharmacy also. The patients get distributed to the doctors. There will be different doctors and the patients go there, and the crowd is not really very tough to handle in the OPDs. Whereas the crowd that gets congregated at the pharmacy, or for that matter, even the laboratory, or some service areas like physiotherapy. So you will have a lot of queues. So how to manage those queues, that process we will explain. So the entire process of the queue management is like very simple. First is the generation of the queue number for the patient. So it can be generated either by the clerks in the registration counter, or it can be generated by the patient himself through a mobile application. We will explain that. After that, the queue number gets generated, and based on the management that is done on the queue management, it will appear in the display system, and the patient will come as per their turn in wherever the service area is there. So these are all the different menu items that will be applicable to it. So we have different queue management systems here. So the third option is the queue number issuance to the patient. So this will be available to either pharmacist in the pharmacy, or it will be available to a registration clerk in the registration counter. So whoever needs to generate a queue number for a patient. So as per the requirements that we receive, we will be able to map this menu item to those users. So they will be able to generate the queue number for the patients. And the remaining things are all like queue management system. Once a queue has been generated in the counters, how the queue has to run, that management comes here. So the QMS OPD is already given to doctors, and doctors are managing it. Then now the QMS pharmacy, QMS investigations, QMS service area, they all will have to be handled by the pharmacist or the lab technicians in the sample collection area, or in the service areas by their respective users. So this is the queue issuance to patient related process. It's much simple like a registration process. So the patient will come to a counter where the queue number has to be generated. His CR number can be entered manually, or it can be scanned. The barcode can be scanned and the number gets added here. Or alternatively, we have an option to search by Umeed or phone number also. So if you click on the search patient option, they will be able to see that option as well. So the search patient option will open various other options. And after that, the patient details will come on the top, and the which area where the queue has to be generated, that has to be selected here. So the service area can be a pharmacy, or it can be lab, or it can be service area. So that they will choose. And then each service and area, or even for that matter pharmacy, will have a different counters. So in which counter they need to get the queue number generated, that also can be managed, because in different hospitals you have a different systems. You may have a one single counter or a multiple counters. Each counter will maintain the separate inventory. So all those things are there. And there are also possibilities that some counters are meant for exclusive for senior citizens. Some are meant for female patients. So likewise, you have different options. So accordingly, the counters also can be chosen. And then they will click on the generate option. So once that is clicked, the queue number gets generated here. So this information will go on mobile SMS also, as well as the mobile app. Even in the mobile app also, they will be able to see. So now the management of the queue, the management system will happen on this particular screen. So as I said, like a QMS pharmacy, QMS investigation, QMS service area. So they're all like different menus which will be given to respective users. And they will be able to select the counter here as per their turn. Like one pharmacist may be working in a counter 1 today, he may work in counter 2 tomorrow, or in the second half he will man some other counter. So all kind of possibilities are there. So we kept the system little flexible, so they can choose the counter which they are manning at that point of time, and then it will show all the queue numbers that have been generated for that counter, and they will only need to click on the call next button. So call next will automatically take the queue numbers sequentially. So, suppose like one patient has not turned up, the queue number 1 has not turned up, 2 number not turned up. In that case, when the patient does not turn up, you simply click on the standby button. Once you click on the standby button, those numbers which have not turned up will appear in the separate box that can be seen here. So the serial number 1, the queue number 1 and queue number 2 have not turned up, so those details are available here. And if you click on the call next button, then the sequentially it will keep on going. Suppose when you are come to a queue number 3, and suddenly the patient with queue number 1 turns up, then you will have to click on the queue number in this box. If you click on the 1 number, it will appear in the display system. And then if you click on the call next, then it will jump to the queue number 4, which was the running number at that point of. So likewise, the queue management can be handled in a very, very simplistic manner. They don't have to do much of activities. They need to open these two tabs separately. So if a pharmacist is there, the direct issue to patient tab will be open, and QMS pharmacy also will be open, and they will alternate between these two tabs for managing the queue and issuance. So another important thing that we have given, we thought like it will be a value addition, is that if you click on the human icon here, if you click on the human icon here, then it will also show which all patients are actually listed along with their names and everything. It will come. And now we are trying to add CR number also here, so that if a pharmacist wants to, like a patient with a queue number 1 has come, he need not ask his CR number, and he does not have to type everything. So he can simply click on it, copy that CR number, and go back to the direct issue to patient, and then paste it there. So that way the work of scanning, barcode reader working, not working, so all those options will come down. So depending on how well you adapt, the system can become much more simpler. So this is the display system of the queue. It will appear if a pharmacy say has a 5 counters. So all the 5 counter related information can be displayed in one single screen itself. So you don't have to maintain different queue display systems for each counter. And it will contain the whichever queue number is running, that information will come, their CR number, patient name, everything will come, so that based on that information, they will manage standing in the queue and coming on their turn. So far what we have discussed is that the patient coming to the registration counter to get the queue number generated and how that is managed. Now we will discuss very briefly how a queue management system or the queue numbers can be generated by the patient themselves. They need not go to the counter. So nowadays, like most of our patients have smartphones, they are already downloading the mobile apps. In the mobile app itself, we have given option, just like the self-registration option that we had given for stamping their visit and generating a queue number for the OPD. Similarly, we have given this option of pharmacy queue slip. So if you click on the pharmacy queue slip, it will open the second the screen that you are seeing here with a QR code scanner. So QR code scanner option will open, and now the QR codes for each counter or each facility needs to be generated. So those QR codes can be placed near the counters, and the patient will come and simply scan it. So their queue number gets generated, and they will be able to see the status of the queue number from the mobile app itself. So it means they don't have to really wait and see in the screen that is available there. So as you can see here in the second screen, on the top you have in the blue font, view token status. If you click on view token status, you will be able to see which number is actually running now. What is your queue number and what is the queue token status. Now, as you can see, if you click on the view token status, it will show which counter you have registered for the queue number. So that will come here. So the pharmacy counter number 1, your token number is 6. This is the queue number you have. And if you click on it further, you click on the arrow button. Now it will open this third screen where it will show the current queue number which is running is the 4. So that way patients can in the pharmacy, most of the times the waiting period is longer. Even if you optimize everything, still in central hospitals specifically, you will have a lot of queues. So instead of waiting there, they can simply go and check out some other works, or they can wait in the waiting hall. So at their convenience, they can come as per their turn, checking the status from their mobile app itself. So that's all in the queue management system thing.